Hello people, hello guys. Here another interview on my YouTube or LinkedIn channel, wherever you see us. And I'm really excited today to interview Mrinalini. We are excited, Mrinalini. What are you currently doing for a living? Can you give us a short insight to your everyday work?
Thank you, Wolfgang, first of all, for this opportunity to share my experience and everything. Well, I am a supply chain analyst here. I came to Germany 6 years ago as a student to pursue my master's in industrial engineering. And afterwards, the kind of study that I had, the kind of experience that I gained, the interests that I developed, I became a supply chain enthusiast. And today I'm a supply chain analyst. I work in a roofing and waterproofing company. So we are into construction business, building construction business. And if you talk about like what's like the insight in my daily work or how my day-to-day tasks look like. So I would say, like my title, it does complete justice to my daily tasks. I am an analyst. So approximately 20 to 30 to 30% of my work involves talking to stakeholders, what challenges they are facing, what they want, or what they want to see when they want to see the status quo of some challenge they're facing or some processes. Then 20 to 40% of my time is spent with data engineers to tell them like, this is the challenge that I've recently got from some of our stakeholders. Do we have this kind of data? What kind of databases are there? What kind of data connections are there to extract that data? Because SAP has data in forms of tables. So to talk with data engineers basically, and then let's say 10%, and yes, of course, that 20 to 40%, when I said it's like also my screens are always filled with different kinds of BI dashboards and process mining tools, different tools I use for BI purposes and for process mining purposes. So, my screen is filled with different studio, building some KPIs, some graphs, and so on. And let's say 10% of my time is spent in learning new things. So, and when I say learning new things, it means professionally. So, maybe one new formula, maybe one new chunk of code that can help me build something. So, yeah. That's like 100%, I guess, covering of my daily work.
Yes, now we have 100% covered. Yes. Very exciting to hear. I guess it's a very good insight for freshers who come out of university. I learned a lot of theoretical stuff at university. Everyone is facing this time of his or her life. And now getting a really good insight what is practical work at the German companies there. In one example here about. And you said, okay, your job is a lot about collaboration with others, communication, talking with the stakeholders, explaining them something in a simple way, maybe also sometimes if they're not really from the technical side. And you also mentioned a little bit the softwares you have to do with. Can you give us a short insight? What kind of skills, hard and soft skills, should a engineer possess to do such a job like you?
That's a good question. For my kind of job, I would say the first and important things before having this technical skills is the mindset. So you need to have an analytical mindset. You need to think in terms of quantification of things. How can I improve? Because that's my personal belief that everything that can be quantified can be improved. So you need that kind of mindset. You don't need to be a cult coder, or you don't need to know Python and R and all those technical skills. I mean, these are cherry on the top, cherry on the cake afterwards. But first you need to have that kind of, quantitative thinking. And then on top of that, Excel is must. So, everybody should know Excel. I think all the companies are running on Excel. Like, for example, my company is using a BI tool that is SAC. It's called SAP Analytics Cloud. That is for our business intelligence reporting. And there is a very powerful tool for process mining. It's called Celonis. That is what we are using for our process mining tasks, or let's say to get insights there. So yes, having an analytical mind, an approach of telling stories, and Excel. That is something that should be like, it's a holy grail if you want to enter this world. So yeah. These are the tools I would say.
Yeah. I understand. Thank you for sharing with us. I mean, Excel is really the basic of everything. I guess now many engineers are noticing, okay, I know Excel, I'm familiar with Excel, and I know such things you just mentioned. I'm familiar with those, so it's not a big secret. Yeah, I'm familiar with analytical stuff. I'm passionate about it. I have a talent about and thinking in an analytical way, so it's not the big secret. Yeah, to be able to work as an engineer in Germany, but still at the same time, many engineers have the challenge to get their dream job after their degree as a fresher in Germany. So we also talk about application process and everything as soon. I mean, we can say you did kind of a career change, right? From more engineering now to more supply chain domain. Why did you choose exactly this direction?
So when I was doing my engineering, I realized one thing. You know, maybe it's my thinking that I love the show The Big Bang Theory. For me, an engineer like Howard is the engineer. If you are not an engineer like him, you're not an engineer. That was for me. And I realized sooner than later that I'm not someone who can, at least at that time, who can build robots. Or maybe I could have had, but I never had the right guidance, I would say, to know how can I apply for jobs in engineering, or I didn't have the right guidance or right motivation, I would say. But when I came to Germany to pursue my master's, I realized by then, first of all, that I have a knack for processes. I love to plan things from point A to point B, how I can better do it, how I can make sure that, you know, I played with numbers, let's say it like that. And I love that. So when I came for my master's here, I had two main subjects. One was manufacturing processes and one was logistics. Apparently my professor, my logistics professor, had he was working in the industry. He's now VP of HelloFresh, if you know.
Yes, I know.
For procurement. And he was our teacher, he was our professor. And the way he explained and the way he explained all the concepts of logistics and warehousing and supply chain, and the way he ignited the interest of so many of our classmates in the logistics world. I mean, that was very changing. That was a changing point for me from engineering to logistics. And one thing I realized that logistics and engineering are like not very different when you talk about, you know, if from an engineering point of view. If I talk, I think I mentioned this once I was talking to you, that the new technology or the new revolution that is going to be a part of supply chain is going to RPA, robotic process automation. So for that, to achieve that, to be there, you need to have like an engineering mindset. So even though I didn't get any engineering job, or I didn't went to any engineering job, there is still an engineer in me. I still think in, you know, ways, in systematic ways, or a way in which engineer thinks. So all those capabilities, or all those way of thinking, they came with me while doing this job. And that's what is helping me, you know, that I think that is something that makes me stand out than other colleagues in logistics and supply chain that I have. Because, you know, I think in a certain way. I think in a way where I want to solve problems. As an engineer, you solve problems. The work of an engineer, or the job of an engineer, is problem solving. And whenever I look at a situation, at a challenge that is given my way, I always look at it as a problem solving approach. Honestly, I don't find so much of a difference, because I also remember talking to you about, you know, all the new engineering developments that are coming our way. They're all electronic. They're not mechanical anymore. Every new, not every, but let's say 95% of the new inventions are in terms of electronics, even in a car. So, and when we talk about electronics, it's not just you put one sensor here, one sensor there, and it's electronics. You have to code that sensor. You have to put a logic behind that sensor. Right? How should, okay, it senses this, and then how should it react? So that kind of mindset comes when you have done some engineering module, you know, because those kind of studies actually build a problem solving mindset. So, and that's what I'm doing at my current job as well.
Yeah. To think like an engineer, to think in a logical way. Correct. To deal with facts, and what can we make out of the facts, and what can we also do with situations we don't know so far, because you're always coming to this point where you see, okay, science has no answer, we have no answers as engineers. Okay, we should still find a solution for the company. Yeah, we should still be able to provide a good solution to the customer. Yeah, not everything is 100% guaranteed that everything will work. We still have to provide good solutions. Yeah, and maybe you allow me to add one more skill you have, Mrinalini, to be successful in such a job, supply chain analyst, because you talked about, in the end, you have to talk a lot with other people.
Yes.
But I see you're an open-minded person, and you can, talk about yourself, explain what you're basically doing. So to say, maybe to, explain to other departments then, and you are in general a person who is communicating a lot. And this is what I'm really commending you maybe now as a graduate, as a fresher, to really take a look on your own communication skills. How well are you able to convey the thoughts you have in mind? And you have great innovative thoughts in your mind, but are you really allowing yourself to convey them? Do you really trust yourself? Do you have this confidence level? And are you in the end explaining them in a clear and understandable way? Also, maybe for some not technical guys, you always face some technical guys, and if it's only HR, yeah, you have to convince from hiring you. Yeah. So this is something from my understanding, from my perception, you have really this communication skills. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
If you are in the same situation as Mrinalini 3 years before, like you were looking for a career change, for example, from mechanical to electrical, or from mechanical to software, or from mechanical supply chain, or the other way around, whatever career change, if you're in this situation and you would like to learn how can you achieve the same and finally get your dream job in Germany, simply apply with me for free initial interview. For this, go now on my website, wolfgang.com/career, in the case you're a full-time engineer who would like to change his or her current employer, respectively wolfgang.com/English if you're a student or a career starter, and in any case, fill out my application form. I look forward to meeting you and get your dream job now at wolfgangkrüger.com.